according to what the rat told me, if I cross the parking lot, I'll come to the stadium that was used as a safe place for survivors.
Hey there everybody, welcome back to more Deadlight. Well, with the new information from the rat, it seems like we're going to have a short, simple journey. That inevitably will not be that short or simple at all. Almost immediately we find ourselves pretty overwhelmed by quite a few zombies. I think normally what you're supposed to do here is just make a run for this door, as you can quickly bar the way from zombies following you. Also, on this nearby body, we finally pick up our gun that we lost before, or just magically another 38 special. Apparently this might very well be the favorite gun of Seattle, but I kinda doubt it. Also, on this particular body, we can pretty much fill our ammo back up to full, but I don't think we'll be needing it. But it's pretty much at this point in the game when the enemy encounters become even more dangerous and the path we need to take becomes a tiny bit harder to tell. Such as in this case, we actually want to take the middle path, but it's a bit hard to tell that. And here you might think you're okay, but quickly you find that these zombies are able to get up here, and you find yourself easily cornered. It's at this point when you realize that that car and its 2.5D greatness can actually be grabbed onto. You do want to make sure to get off it as quickly as possible, as standing on it will cause you to die instantly for some magical unknown reason. There you kind of saw how the 2.5D can sometimes make combat a tad bit difficult. There are some circumstances where it's a bit hard to tell whether something is still in the background. Yet another secret item to help us remember our daughter, keep her close to our hearts. And with this particular incline, it makes using the jumping through tactic pretty much pointless. But I'm not wanting to burn through my ammunition just yet. I still just want to keep running. And before we continue on, if it seems like you can jump across a bunch of things, that means that there is a secret waiting across the jumps. And these particular jumps, you do want to be fairly careful, as the fall will more than likely kill you. Especially considering right now that I am down to one single bit of health. In this room we find a corpse with a few more bullets, but that's not all. Even though it's not possible to see, we can actually knock down this box, and inside we find another ID of a stranger. For child rapist, cannibal, and murderer Albert Fish. He was a pretty grisly guy.
Those men from the New Law used the message to draw in the innocent survivors.
Yet again, we get a reminder of the 28 days later plot twist.
There must be another way.
And as we could kind of see in that previous building, it did seem like there was a second floor we could explore. Seems like we might be able to find a bit of an easier journey over this very large open parking lot. I think you can actually hear a rather distorted message being repeated in the background. I assume it's being played over this PA to try to lure survivors into...
There are shadows everywhere. Thousands of them. Taking refuge in the stadium, we would never have stayed safe for long.
Yeah, it was meant to lure survivors into the nearby stadium, even though more than likely that stadium has now been overtaken by the new law.
This was the Emerald City once. Not anymore.
So here it's a simple enough measure of finding out things that we can jump on. Yet again, the 2.5D making it a tad bit difficult to figure out what we can and cannot interact with. Just like that, we find ourselves directly inside the stadium.
Come on, leave him alone. We'll take care of him soon enough. He's just a poor old man.
That jackass says the real military will save him. Who does he think we are? Well, that poor old man hit me. This isn't the end of this. You hear me?
And with that, we get the least threatening army mercenaries I've ever heard. I actually do enjoy most of the voice acting in this game, but that particular bit was just pretty awful. But it does appear that they have our friend Ben captured down there.
My friend, he's alive.
What the hell? There's no time to lose. We've already loaded the supplies onto the helicopter. We still need to make a stop at the safe point before returning to base. Let's go.
Now we'll see who has the last laugh, old man.
Gotta get to Ben. Those new law bastards are torturing Ben and feeding him to those damn shadows. I've got to hurry.
Well, it certainly does seem like Ben is in a bit of a bind over there, but we are not actually under any kind of time constraint. He actually apparently has pretty strong legs and is able to defend himself, well, forever as far as I can tell.
On days like today, even a guy like me could believe in God.
And we get our final weapon of the game. The shotgun has 5 shells per clip, even though it's not really a clip. And its main advantage is that at close range it can actually take out multiple zombies. But as of right now, we only have the 5 shells in the gun right now, so we can't go too crazy with it. But I will go ahead and try to show it off a little bit in this locker room area, as there are plenty of zombies. Really, though, you get your maximum usage out of it by corralling as many zombies as you can close to you and then trying to hop on the other side of them.
It looks like the building was a refuge when the disease first spread. And now those crazies use it to store the supplies they steal.
But just like that, we find ourselves on the opposing side of the arena. But before we go save Ben, there are a few more hidden collectibles that we need to go collect. We see here a note from someone that apparently bombed the city and felt a massive amount of regret, possibly for causing the epidemic. So, by further exploration, we find, well, yet another stamina increasing item. Actually, that will be our final stamina increase for the game. We will not actually be finding any in the third and final act. So as we reach the rafters of the arena, by shooting this faraway padlock, have access to the rafters themselves and a very extra special hidden away item. What do we have waiting for us but the second handheld game? But let's go ahead and cut back down to the arena floor, and let's go ahead and save Ben.
They're the food supplies that I was keeping in the shelter, and that the soldiers of the city defended with their lives. Now these rebels have them at will. Ben, old friend, I found you. Ben, you old fox, wake up.
What happened?
They knocked you out cold.
I think I gave as good as I got.
I told you I'd meet back up with you, didn't I?
They took Stella, Randy. They're crazy. They're rebuilding by force. They're killing anybody that doesn't fall in line.
What about my family? Have you seen them?
I haven't seen anybody. They strung me up when I wouldn't go along. They took Stella somewhere else. Some kind of home base. If they've got your family, that's where they'll be.
What about the safe point?
It's all a lie, Randy. There ain't no safe point. They're just using it to round people up and take them somewhere else.
Then we have to get out of here. We have to find them. Let's go, buddy.
I don't have the strength.
You have a pretty deep cut, and you've lost a lot of blood.
Look, Randy, a Christmas present.
You won't be able to fly in this condition. We need to stop the bleeding. You'll have to wait for me here. I need to look for something to fix up those wounds.
Today is my lucky day.
What are you talking about?
Even someone like me would believe in God on a day like today. Look behind you.
Sit tight, Ben. I'm gonna get you some help. I'll be back as quick as I can.
And just like that, we've met up with our friend Ben, and we now have a way to get to the safe point and hopefully rescue our family and I think the third, fourth member of our communion.
Damn it. There's gotta be a first aid kit and some meds around here somewhere.
Stella, that's her name.
I need to help
I had
Ben
to remember
fast,
that.
or he'll bleed out. If this isn't hell, I don't know what is.
But like in most zombie horror movies, hospitals are never the safe place to go. They're usually the first places to have horrible outbreaks. But right now we have no other choice. We can't let our good friend Ben bleed to death, especially since he is the only one that can actually pilot that helicopter. Thankfully, even with the increased zombie numbers, we now have our shotgun, so we are a little bit better equipped. But, well, we run into another issue, which is that sometimes the platforming can be not agreeable. Like this particular area, it's pretty simple that we just need to wall jump up there, but I'm just not getting the right height. It actually almost took a whole minute to make a simple 10-second jump.
It seems that someone left a message on a recording machine.
We will be getting quite a few of these recorded messages and notes from a particular doctor in the hospital. But due to the recording, or the distortion in the game, we're not actually going to be able to make out most of it. Which is a bit of a shame. It seems like a subplot they just kind of left hanging. But as these shadows fall to their deaths like lemmings...
Get out of my head.
Daddy! Do you want to play with me?
These memories, these thoughts. It hurts so much to think about my Lydia.
Get yet another hallucination, but more importantly, we also find our final health upgrade. Now up to a total of 6 hits, and we will definitely be needing those. Especially if there are any times when I manage to screw up possibly simple activities. But in an effort to save a few bullets, decide to use a little bit of my smarts and lure yet even more shadows to their falling doom. Also, we find another letter from the doctor who also recorded messages talking about how somehow this new disease is a key to immortality. Even though it never seems like immortality is exactly what people expect of it.
Another recorded message of this doctor.
The disease. Suspense time.
It looks like that doctor found what he was looking for.
And that particular comment is a tad bit strange because that's not actually the doctor's corpse. Well, we'll be finding that later on. But I do really enjoy the lighting in the hospital, with the sun setting, the dusk evening lighting coming in through the overhead awning, and always the shadows, just shadows everywhere.
More and more recordings made by that crazy doctor.
And here we get a nice, big, gorgeous view of that setting sun.
locked away. I need antibiotics and some frozen men's wounds. That's everything. Let's get out of here.
And just like that, we have what we need. Hopefully we can get back to Ben in time.
Come on!
Fine here, yet another ID of a stranger. Carla Homokala was a supposedly serial killer in Canada. She helped her husband, I think, kill 3 young girls and rape them. And rather oddly, she was let out on probation, and I guess she got remarried and moved to Guadalajara. Had another kid. We have one final secret to get in the hospital. And I'm wanting to assume more that this is actually the doctor who we've been hearing about so much in the hospital. Seems that he finally reached his immortality at 12:02. But now it's merely a frantic race to get out of the hospital. Just trying to get past all of these shadows, but as you can tell, they're pretty overwhelming.
Shit. I gotta get out of here. All this shit make you feel better.
I think so, Randy. I think I'm feeling better. Although I would have liked to see one of those nurses show up from back in the old days. Oh, those uniforms.
You remember how to do it?
If there's gas in it, I promise you I can fly this thing. Bingo! What did I tell you, buddy? If they've taken her to the safe point, from the air we'll be able to find her.
Ben, are you okay?
I'm a little dizzy, and I'm sad, Randy. I miss my wife. I want to be with her again, buddy. I'm tired of this job. Think at least she didn't have to go through all of this. We're like old men, aren't we? All our talk is filled with the dead. All the people we loved, not around anymore. We're alone. Look, Randy, the safe point. You should be able to find them from there. At least I brought you this far.
Ben, are you okay? Ben!
Ben, wake up!